I had one of the most challenging days for life today, period.
Did you guys get your car taken too? Do you know by who, or just, do you know if it was towed or just somebody took it? This has been a horrible day for me, but the grind doesn't stop. Z to Z, no matter what. Gotta keep it going. Did you guys get your car taken too? Do you know by who, or just, do you know if it was towed or just somebody took it? It's a whole story to get into.
I had one of the most challenging days for this journey for life today, period. One of the most challenging days, period. I wake up this morning with all intentions of having an excellent, great day. A lot of things planned out, right? Meetings planned out to start the day, different plans put in action, different things I was going to do and make happen. Knew that I was going to make sure that I had time to work out somewhere in the middle or towards the second half of the day. But it was going to work out. It was going to be fine. It was all going to fit in. Perfect. Great. And what an awesome plan I had. I was very intentional about it. It's going to be a great day, right? It's been a challenging week overall, but I'm going to end it on a great note. And I wake up, get myself ready, and I leave out the house, and I go to walk to my car, and it's not in the spot. I said, well, that's interesting. I certainly parked it right where I'm standing, and there's no car here. Right? Parked it just that night before, locked it, went upstairs, handled some business, and went to bed. I'm this is, at most a 9-hour span. My car is gone. Right? I'm clicking the button around. Was it somehow moved? Did they move it around the parking lot? That's happened one time before that they, did some work or something overnight and moved people's cars. I don't know. Did they tow it? I had my parking decal for the apartment complex. They shouldn't have towed it. I call immediately the tow company that tows placed the cars there, and they're like, we didn't tow anything last night. And I'm like, okay, that's not great. But if it's in anyone's system, they told me just call the sheriff's office and they'll know, and they'll let me know immediately. So I call the sheriff's office and they're like, okay, let's do a quick check and make sure. And they're like, it's not in the system, which means that it's likely that it was stolen. What? Oh, what? I was like, how? And they were like, well, did anyone have your key? And I'm sitting there in shock. I'm like, I have the only key when I purchased this car. I have the only key. And they're like, oh, okay, well, are you behind on your payments? I'm like, I paid cash for it in full. And they're like, something else may have gone on. Something may have happened. We'll send a deputy out. And, the officer came out and he's like, yeah, 99% sure that someone stole this because, they would know by now if it was towed. And I'm just shocked. I'm just absolutely shocked. My entire day is ruined. Things are ruined. This car is gone. It's got personal items and effects in it that I can probably never get back at this point in time. I'm just highly inconvenienced. Right? I go and cancel any of the debit cards that I had in there, and just prepare for anything that could happen once these people go through or whatever, if they go through anything in there. So just making sure that I can't get harmed in that way, and just thinking of all the inconveniences, all these things. And, I had this moment where I was close to despair. I got on my hands and knees, I put my head on the couch, and I was approaching despair. I believe I was approaching despair. So I would say I had a despairing moment. And in that moment, this is really important. In that moment, I remember it very vividly. These thoughts came to my head. It was, you know what? This is a really rough time for you. This is what my voices are telling me in my head. This is a really rough time for you. This is really difficult. You're going through more than the average person does. You're taking on a lot. Why not just get a dozen Krispy Kreme hot glazed donuts? Why not? That'll make you feel better. Why not a milkshake too? Right? Nothing bad with that. Why just not eat the things that make you feel good? Let's get some ice cream. Let's get some other stuff, and you'll feel better. And yeah, it's one day, but you deserve it. As I realized that, and as I noticed it, I stopped. I stopped, and a voice came through, like the voice I commanded. I said, no. I said, absolutely not. I said, you will not go back. You will not go back. It was like, I was like, no, you fat frick. You will not do that. You will not do that. You will not do that. You're better than that. You've built too much. You've come too far already on this journey to succumb so easily. Yeah, this is a bad situation. Acknowledge that. Of course it's a bad situation. Of course it's a bad situation. Is it a loss? Yes. Is it a significant loss? Absolutely. But remember who you are. You were born into this world with next to nothing. With next to nothing, right? And from that, right, you navigated. You figured out. You survived. So what that I've lost? Everyone loses something. Everyone loses things. Everyone loses at some point. So what that I've lost? Am I going to stay in that? Am I going to let everything else go because of one bad loss? I snapped out. I said, you know what? Guess what I've been doing this whole time? I've been walking to the gym anyway. Now I got no choice but to, but I was fully well prepared for it. I said, you take that energy, take all that, and transform it into something, right? Whereas before it was donuts and ice cream and milkshakes. So now, train yourself. Continue to train yourself. Continue to develop yourself, right? You got energy. You wanna feel and flow. You wanna transfer energy around. Then do that at the gym, right? Do that with a hard leg workout. Focus your energy into that. Put it into that. Build your muscle. Break it apart. Tear it apart so it can come back together. Do what you need to do, but channel it into a good direction. And that's what I did. And that was this was monumental for me. This was monumental for me. I told myself, I said, you are incredible. You are incredible. What you can take on is unlike any other. And you must continue to push forward. You must continue to push forward, because that is the only direction that you're allowed to move in, is forward. It happened. It's over. Things are happening. If the police can find it, if they can get it, that'll be great. But you will not dwell every day over it. It is gone. There's nothing you can do to get it back. It's gone. Move on. What's next? Right? Spend the rest of my life, the rest of the day and multiple days sitting dwelling over something that I can't do anything about anyway? No, absolutely not. What am I going to worry about that for now? What am I going to put any energy into that for? Put energy into the things that you can do. You have personal brands that you need to really launch and take to the next level. You need to really put your all into that, because that's a great avenue for you. Your restaurants need more, you have more of your attention, more of your time, more of your energy. Put it into that, right? Put it into your workouts. Put it into the restaurant that's being developed, the third place. Do all of that. Do all of that. Make everything good. Make the best content you ever can. Do everything to the top level. Make your restaurants better than they've ever been. Make the third place a freaking amazing, absolutely awesome, and propel yourself. Propel yourself to a higher level and make this feel as insignificant as it really is. Because in 40 years, you'll look back on this and laugh. You'll look back on this and laugh, and you'll have a chuckle about, man, I can't believe when my car was stolen that time, right? You won't even believe where you lived at that time. You can't believe where you used to live 20 years ago, right? Think 20 years from now, you will be, remember who you are and what you're capable of, and act in that.